SRT gang. It's your boy with the fat SwaggyReacts, and we are back with another reaction video, man. And yo, shouts out to Mr. Ballen. You feel me? Like today we're gonna be checking out like one of his older videos. Now, like if you guys been watching me for a while, like you guys know in a couple videos, like I said where I'm from, and I live in like North Carolina. So when I seen this video, yes, it's a short video, but I came through and I was like, bro, I need to know this, cause like with me living here, I need to know like where to go or whatever, like to avoid this type of shit. So today we're gonna be checking out like secret creepy cabin discovered in North Carolina. So like if you guys, well, if I have any viewers from North Carolina, man, like what part of North Carolina like are you guys like living at, even in South Carolina? Like let me know, man. Or is it somewhere in the surrounding area? Like let me know like where you guys are from down in the comment section. But like it's the Lost episode 1. I'm assuming so. So I guess they got more than one episode. Like you guys want me to check out the other episodes, like let me know. But enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get into this. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I think y'all already know my goals. 200 likes. I'm trying to get to 50K. So share the video. Know what I'm saying? That's all I ask for. Just share the video, man. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's get into it, man. Oh, like road. The fuck is that, like Ron Mount? I mean, Ron Mount, North Carolina? I don't have no idea where the hell that's at.
On July 17th, 1983, 8 days after Michael is found, another person goes missing in the same section of Roan Mountain. And I've got to say, their story sounds an awful lot like Michael's. So on July 17th, 1983, Larry Davenport, who is a 20-year-old avid hiker, decides to head...
Damn, like I was about to look it up, but I don't even got my phone over here, bro. Like Ron Mountain. Like Ron Mountain. No, I've never heard that, bro.
83, Larry Davenport.
It sound like it can be over there by like Rocky Mountain, North Carolina or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Sounds an awful lot like Michael's. So on July 17th, 1983, Larry Davenport, who is a 20-year-old avid hiker, decides to head up to Roan Mountain with a couple of his friends to go on a hike. They really liked the western side of Roan Mountain. They were very eager to get up to the top where they could have a picnic before the sun went down. So they make it up to this section of the mountain where it's actually a campsite, and it's not that far from where Michael went missing. And there's picnic tables and there's little barbecues. You can put in charcoal briquettes and have your own little barbecue. They get up there and they set up their picnic on one of the picnic tables. And they're having a great time, they're joking, they're laughing. And at some point, Larry takes off his shirt and his shoes. And the weather was pretty good. It wasn't super hot out, but it was decent enough that no one thought it was odd that he was taking off his clothes and maybe kicking back and relaxing, enjoying the nice weather. Then at some point, out of nowhere, he stands up and he starts walking over to the tree line because they were in a bit of a clearing. And as he's walking over, one of his friends would later say that it seemed odd if he was going to, relieve himself in the tree line, that he wouldn't take his shoes because the risk of stepping on something and puncturing your foot's pretty high. It was only in retrospect that this friend thought of that. At the time, his friends didn't think twice. He's getting up to relieve himself. He'll be back in a minute. After a few moments, when Larry did not come back, somebody turned around to see what he was doing. And they saw him walking in a straight line away from them, well into the forest. This is a thick forest. It's not somewhere you're going to go walking barefoot without a shirt on. And he is way into the woods at this point. The friends have this moment of shock. Even if he needed to relieve himself, he would have done it much closer to the edge. So they're staring at him, thinking like, this isn't really happening. He's gonna turn around and come back. When he didn't, somebody yelled like, hey Larry, what are you doing? Doesn't turn around, just keeps walking. So they get up and they start walking over. They're yelling to him, expecting him to turn around. And then at some point, he's far enough away that they can't even see him anymore. They start running in.
Like, what's going on with my man's Larry, bro? He's just gone, bro. Like What is going on?
To the forest, yelling for him to stop and to come back. But as they got farther and farther in and they couldn't find him, they began to get worried that they were going to get lost. And so they decide, after about an hour of just yelling for him and kind of peering around to hopefully get a look at him, thinking he might just come back because there was no explanation for this, they eventually called the authorities. Authorities are able to very quickly launch a massive search in this area, very similar to the search that was launched for Michael, except without military involvement. But it was just as many people.
So I'm guessing this is, the second half of a story, because they keep saying this guy Michael. So I guess if you guys want me to check out that video, send it to me. Send it to me in the comment section, and we can definitely react to it together. You know what I'm saying?
Hundreds of people for Michael, except without military involvement. But it was just as many people, hundreds of people scouring this area. He doesn't have shoes on, he doesn't have a shirt on. And so they're banking on the idea that even though he's walked off for some reason, he can't go very far. It's going to take a minute, but they're going to find him because he can't escape the search party.
Yeah.
But he does. And after 3 days of not finding this guy,
3
despite
days?
this massive effort, people are baffled. But on the third day, a very strange but lucky break in the case occurred. 8 miles away from where the search is happening for Larry, a group of hikers called into police that they had seen a man walking around them wearing only what they described as a bed sheet. He was probably not wearing a shirt. They didn't know if he had pants on or not, but they could see that, his shin down had nothing on it, and he had no shoes on, and he had this bed sheet wrapped around him. And he wasn't coming towards them. He wasn't threatening them in any way. He just looked like there's something wrong with this guy. Somebody needs to collect this guy and see what's going on. And so the police go over, and sure enough, it's Larry. When police got to Larry, he was visibly shaken, confused. He didn't really even know why he was there. He didn't know why he had this bed sheet wrapped around him, which it would turn out to be a large curtain, not a bed sheet. He did have a few scratches on his body, but probably not as many as they anticipated him having, considering the distance he had covered. 8 miles through thick rhododendron thickets. He should have been covered head to toe in cuts, but he wasn't, but he had a few. So the first thing they did is they brought him to a hospital, and he was diagnosed with something called acute brain syndrome, which is a term that refers to a host of psychiatric conditions that are temporary and diffuse over time that are caused by head injury, drugs, or infection. Basically, he was totally mentally unstable, but it would get better over time.
But what happened within that 3 days? I want to know, what happened? Why is he so traumatized? What happened within those 3 days of them searching? What happened? What the freak?
Basically, he was totally mentally unstable, but it would get better over time. Once he stabilized a bit, investigators asked him, what happened? So Larry wasn't sure why he left his friends, but at some point after leaving his friends, he wound up at this abandoned cabin. And he describes the cabin, and he says where it is, and he said he went in the cabin and he didn't have clothes on, so he pulled one of the curtains off one of the windows and he wrapped it around himself, and he was there for a bit before ultimately leaving the cabin, and then he was discovered. And so investigators, they had a bunch of issues with this because, number one, how do we account for you traveling 8 miles? Because what you've just described is not an 8-mile journey. You're talking about a very short journey.
Right.
In addition, where you described this cabin is an area that was heavily searched by the hundreds of people that did the search.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, I think they would have came across that cabin eventually, I'm so confused right now.
Is an area that was heavily searched by the hundreds of people that did the search, and no one saw a cabin. And certainly if they had, they would have searched the cabin. It is the most obvious place that someone lost in the woods would go.
Right.
There's no cabins in that area. So where was he? And where did he get the curtain from? And so just like the Michael Real case, where the boy is found and he's healthy, and so everyone looks past the weirdness of his discovery and his story because he's alive, that's what happened to Larry Davenport. Very strange story. Don't know what you're doing walking around with a curtain on you, and I don't think that cabin exists, but you're alive, so we're okay with it. No one really did much research into the weirdness around these two stories.
So weird.
But David Paulides and the Missing 411 team said it's pretty difficult to overlook the fact that in a very short period of time, two different people that didn't know each other, that were not interacting in any way, went missing in roughly the same area, Roan Mountain, North Carolina side. Under the same circumstances, they suddenly got up and walked away inexplicably. There's no trace of them. Dogs can't pick up their scent. Then they show up and they're kind of confused about how they got there, but here they are. And then they describe the same cabin that they found themselves being drawn to and
Ron Mount is the place I will not be. I've never even, again, I don't know if I said this already. I've never even heard of Ron Mount. When I get my phone, like, I'm going to see how far Ron Mount is from here. Like, this is crazy. So I know not to go.
Staying inside of for significant amounts of time before being found again. That seems like too much of a coincidence to just write off. So, I would like to hear what you think happened to these two people. Was the cabin a hallucination? And if so, how did they both evade such a massive search effort?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, for 3 days at that? Like, come on, bro. Like, nah, like,
Or was it real? And who was the person in the cabin with Michael? So that's going to do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's...
Wow, bro. Like, bro. So tell me, guys, like, what do you guys think happened? Like, what did he just did? Was it a cabin? Was it not a cabin? Like, did he just like they said they were searching for what, 3? I'm like, after 3 days or something like that. So they had to be searching for like a whole day or 2 days and never came across this cabin. So like I'm telling you, like, what, was he hallucinating? Like what? Cause I'm still confused, bro. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you guys feel in the comment section, and make sure you guys I'm like, comment down below. Also, I'm like the video before you guys leave. And make sure you guys are tuned in. And yes, I know this is a short video, but I had to give you guys some content, man. So I love you guys. Make sure you guys are tuned in Monday when I drop another one for you guys, gang. And SRT gang, I am out this thing, man. Let's get it.